Well, good evening, Glue Troopers. I hope everybody's doing well. And this is probably going to be the last one for a while. I'm off to work tomorrow. It's a 3-day. I might get a little something over the weekend. Unfortunately, with the New Year's Eve happening on Saturday the 31st, I don't think there'll be a live stream, but maybe I can do one, the next day or something before I get back to work. It'll be a lot of fun. I need to make a quasi correction. Last video I said the CH-46 was called the Toad because the old CH-46 pilot flew with called it that, and everybody was saying no, it's actually the PHROG. And now I'm wondering if he said frog in my brain, I thought Toad, or if he actually said Toad. I think that may just something he said kind of as a joke. And I do remember another CH-46 pilot I flew with actually some years ago who told me that they were restricted to how many Marines they could carry. I think at one point it was down to 6. So I asked the other fellow I flew with more recently about that. He goes, yeah, they were getting old and there was that, but then they went ahead and invested the money to apparently refurbish a certain number of them, get them back up to spec. And, you guys know the Marines have to be they have to make their equipment last because they basically get what the Navy gives them. So there are a couple of services and countries that are like that. I know the Israelis are known for getting a lot of mileage out of older equipment, which is evidenced by a lot of the armor that was basically World War II stuff that they would drop diesel engines in them, add plate, put on guns. They found all kinds of ways to upgrade them and keep them relevant for much longer than anybody ever thought they would be. And of course, the Marine Corps is famous for the same thing because of budgetary limitations. And it's really great to see when people can keep this hardware going for a long time. But then again, this isn't for sentimental reasons. This is a practical thing. Most of us who build models, we love the stuff for its historical context or just because it's cool equipment. But I assure you, militaries around the globe do not hold on to old equipment because it's cool. They hold on to it because it's what they've got and they do the best with what they can. Some groups like the Israeli military and New Zealand military and the Marine Corps and all these other, somewhat smaller agencies can be extremely creative. I bring up the Kiwis because of what they did with the old A4 Skyhawk. And they had only had I think they were down to about 8 of them at one point, but they upgraded them and made a pretty impressive machine out of them. But they're of course, history is rife with examples of military forces keeping these things, updated and relevant for long periods of time, which is one of the reasons I enjoyed touring the USS Cod, because a lot of the old Gato and Bilal class submarines after the war, or Tench class submarines, were sent through the Guppy programs and they were upgraded. So they really didn't look anything like they did in the Second World War. But the Cod is still in World War II configuration, which is why it's such a great opportunity if you're in Cleveland to go down there and tour it. It's right by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so there's all this stuff to do right there on the lakefront. You have the Women in Aviation Museum, you have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you have Science Museum, you have the USS Cod. It's really just a nice little area right there. And fortunately for me, it was within walking distance of our crew hotel. So anyway, now that I have completely wandered off on a unrelated tangent, I just wanted to thank everybody. This has been a really, really great year. And here's to hoping 2023 is good to all of us. Take care of yourselves, guys. And as always, model on.